Okay. Call to order the Special Rules, Laws, and Licensing Committee being held on Monday, November 24th, 2025 at 6 p.m. at 5050 South Lake Drive, Cudahy, Wisconsin, 53110. Prior to this meeting, notice was given to the community and posted in the appropriate places. Notice was also given to the news media that requested it, namely the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel and MySouthShoreNow.com. Roll call, Kelly?
Member Wachowski?
Here.
Member Tomzak?
Here.
Member Farney?
Here.
Alderperson LaFerski?
Here.
And Chair, Alderperson Haynes is also present, as well as both Fire Chief, Police Chief, City Administrator, City Attorney, as well as Deputy Clerk Treasurer and Clerk Treasurer.
Okay, before we actually get rolling here, we're gonna have public comment, but it's gonna be towards the end. Each speaker will be limited to 1 3-minute presentation for each public comment. Any discourse between speaker and committee is absolutely necessary, will be minimal to avoid potential open meetings law violations. Also, with that said, when you're recognized to speak publicly, you will have the floor. I ask that you keep decorum, proper order, and being respectful.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
if there's no objection, could we, reverse the order and allow public comment first so that people wouldn't have to stay if they choose not to for the entire meeting?
With the limitation of what we're discussing tonight, public comment will be at the end.
And then can I make a motion to see what the other committee members' feelings are on this? I'd like to make a motion that we reverse the order on the agenda to allow the public to speak first and then take on the new business.
Kelly?
So,
It requires a second.
I'll second it.
okay, hold on, let me get this down here. All right, roll call. We'll have Member Wachowski,
Yes.
Member Tomzak,
No.
Member Farney,
Abstain from voting.
Alderperson Haynes,
No.
Alderperson LaFerski.
Yes.
All right, we have a tie vote, 2-2 with 1 abstain.
So the motion fails.
All right.
I don't know.
Okay, moving on to old business, there's none. Going into news business. Discussion and necessary action regarding resolution number 7180.14 entitled "A Resolution Adopting City Fee Schedule for 2026. Before we get into explanation, Kelly, can you explain the color coding for the board members?
Yes, I can. So you were all sent the markup as presented to the Common Council at the November 13th and 18th agendas. Color coding that was sent to you on that is red is set by state statute, green is set by municipal code, turquoise is reimbursed to contractor, and purple is an enterprise fund which does not affect the general fund. So any fees that have no color coding or in white, that remain in white, are fees that the body can look at. You can look at other fees and other funds as well, however, that does not have any effect on the general fund, which is the fund that has the budgetary issues for 2026. So that is clear for everyone.
Any members have any questions with that?
So you're saying that the color code ones, we can't change?
In red, you cannot change them.
Only in red?
The ones in red you cannot change, the ones in green would need an ordinance change to go first. Anything that's turquoise is really just reimbursed to contractor. So a lot of those fees are set by the contractors that we're just recouping our costs on them and not generating revenue. And that's typically by statutory purposes, to just recover our costs and not generate revenue. anything that is in the enterprise funds, does not have a corollary adjustment to the general fund budget, which is the budgetary issue that we're facing. If we have questions on that going forward, I'm happy to continue to explain.
Question?
Go ahead.
The turquoise, are you saying that the inspection department doesn't do any deck reviews, no additions?
To a
Because
certain extent, plan reviews are done through each land exam.
all residential, because that's what I'm looking at here.
I can't say those were reviewed by the department, so that's the information that I have on that. So every department went through and reviewed their own information.
So, we don't know for certain, or,
I can base it off of what the department submitted.
okay, what about like pet fanciers and tattoo establishments, who would do those?
Those are through the health consortium with the health department. I believe that those were color coded, as red, because those are in, coordination with the health consortium through South Milwaukee and St. Francis.
So turquoise and red are basically set by others than the city.
Red, most definitely. Turquoise has some ability, to have adjustments to it. They are reimbursements to contractors, so our ability to gain revenue off of them is limited, and it should be, as the city attorney has recommended in multiple other areas. Those fees are not to generate revenue, they're just to recover costs.
Is there even like a processing fee associated with any of those?
Yes, those are in separate line items.
Any other questions? Okay, Kelly, go ahead and,
So do you want me to start at the top and work through line items? Okay, so the very top fee is a tax roll transfer fee. Any unpaid municipal fees that we roll to the property taxes, this is a brand new fee for 2025, is $100 per property per fee. So say we have non-compliance fees that the inspection department needs to be rolled over to the property taxes for a given parcel. That is then a $100 administrative charge that the city charges in addition to those outstanding fees, for our time for the service. And that applies to water utility charges, non-compliance charges, any other municipal billings that we would do that are not paid.
any questions there?
Records request fees are for the most part set by statute. You have to be exceptionally careful with those. Those, have been vetted to be pretty much as high as we can possibly set them already without facing some serious legal consequences. Animal, dog, and cat licenses are set by MADAC. We are just an agent for them, so we have no control over what those fees are. Making an application in the health department is a $50 administrative fee. Keeping of chickens, that is set by ordinance as well, but refers to the fee schedule, that's a $50 fee. And beekeeping permits. We actually haven't had anybody complete those processes to be able to generate any revenue off of those permits. Economic and development, zoning and inspection fees, zoning code updates. Those are things that could be looked at. Land division, subdivision, comp plans, design guidelines. These are, they so rarely happen. We recover our costs on them, but they're not gonna generate much for revenue, a few $100s a year at the best.
So these are all current fees? Okay.
So the plan commission review, these again are very, very minimal. They are costs to recover our actual expenses. Multifamily plan reviews, we don't do very much building because we are built out. These are very few and far between. They generate maybe a few applications a year. So if anybody wants to look at any of those, we can do that. Sign and design review, $150, that's for the work that's required with it. There could be a small adjustment if you'd like. It's not gonna make massive impact to anything.
do we have anything to compare it to? What we're charging compared to Oak Creek, South Milwaukee, St. Francis? Are there any comparisons?
We were not asked to prepare any of that information.
We did look at it back last summer. I brought some recommendations in some of these and a couple of the non-compliance. And we could do that again in the future. This is our fee schedule. We can do it anytime throughout the year. So happy to find some comps and see where we're at again.
They were denied the last request.
Question. Before we go any further, are we looking to adjust these to what percentage, how much, or?
We'll be looking to, so the reason that we're here to review the fee schedule is the council opted to forego implementation of a new fee and look at and review the fee schedule to try and generate the revenue that would have been generated off my best assumptions from the fee that they did not implement through the rest of these fees.
Okay, but what I'm saying though, as he brought up, what are we comparing it to, you know? St. Francis, Oak Creek, Franklin, and how much do we wanna
To
go
a
up?
certain extent, it should, as the city attorney has stated many times, cover our costs for
Okay.
what these things take. You can generate some revenue, but it's not a substantial amount that you can generate from these types of things. They're not supposed to be revenue generating,
Mhm.
they're just supposed to cover our costs.
Okay.
So we have very, as everybody probably knows, very little building that happens in the city because we are so built out. So these things, for the most part, cover the costs. Some of them are reimbursed to contractors depending upon our staffing levels at the time. They cover those costs. So it's up to the body if you would like to make any recommendations, changing any of those. I would say we wouldn't be able to do anything substantial to these without possibly facing some rebuttal.
Do the fees automatically get adjusted based off inflation every year, or have these been?
They're reviewed by the departments every year.
Okay.
And then they look at comps, they look at what the actual costs are for us to do those things, and then each department, is supposed to make recommendations based off of that to come forward and adjust the fees.
But they don't go by a fixed percentage every year?
No.
So have there been any recommendations by any of the departments to increase any of these fees?
We take it annually, so it varies every year,
I mean, right now,
this is the markup that went to council. So there's increases in here and there's changes in here. This is the markup that went to council requesting changes.
So these are the final fee levels they want to get.
This is not final.
This is not.
Council kicked it back to this body to
Mhm.
review and recommend any other changes that they see necessary. And so that's what we're doing now.
so some of these have been increased and they're not current.
So
They
these
were
are current, but I'm
these-
saying in prior years, they're
Oh,
looked at
okay.
every single
Alright,
year,
yeah.
yeah. So there could have been a recommendation 3 years on these,
Okay, yeah.
yeah.
It's the stuff that's been crossed out and altered is the changes that are being proposed, is that right?
Correct.
Yep.
Yes. So subdivision fees, I don't know where we're gonna put a subdivision, so I don't know how much this would really do for us. We don't have any land to build a subdivision like that, but it's up to the body if you would like to look at what those costs would be.
Why was it taken out?
It's not, it's still there.
Oh, okay.
So the one underneath
I
it
see.
is taken out because that's not something that, we recover costs now through a different manner.
Okay. That's what I was wondering. Cause you never know when they're gonna tear down something, they could put a subdivision
Mhm.
someplace.
Sure.
Yeah,
Look at off of Pennsylvania, what they're
Yep.
doing out there with the property out there and stuff.
yeah, we should keep it for sure.
We should keep things that we think maybe in the future could generate something. Because
Absolutely.
there are buildings that are being torn down and we are putting subdivisions in and stuff like that.
And so it's up to this body if you would like to adjust those costs or review them again next year.
Problem is, how much do you adjust? I don't have no idea how much to adjust them, that's, you know, is it a percentage, 20%, do we double it? I have no idea, some guidance.
We haven't, in my time here, we haven't had a subdivision review.
I mean, all these though, that's where one of my problems is right now.
And that would be a problem because we're not supposed to necessarily generate revenue but cover our costs without having one for decades.
Right,
It's very hard to say what that would
Right.
entail.
okay.
So it's up to the body. If you would like to make an adjustment, we can propose that to the council.
In the case of a subdivision, we would utilize our consulting,
And I'm not
would
just
get
talking-
that cost back.
I'm not just talking subdivision, which is a good point, I'm talking all these, I have no idea how we compare to any of the communities around here. And I'll give you an example, you know, you had the subdivision, let's say we wanted to do that one for $900 or something like that. Are we pushing people away from here to go over to St. Francis right over the border, where we want to keep them here instead, so.
It's always a struggle.
That's what I'm trying to deal with right now.
Okay, so zoning fees, basic requests, planned unit developments, amendments to PUDs, conditional uses, amendments to conditional uses, et cetera, $300 to $500. Those for the most part cover the cost for those things. It's up to the body if you would like to make a small adjustment to those. I think that could be feasible. However, there are not, with the new zoning review and process, there will likely be far less of these, and even with the number that we currently have, it'll be a few $1,000s at best to the next year's anticipated revenues.
I would like to talk about under zoning fees. The permitted temporary uses and special events, is currently at $50. And I'd like to have a discussion, about increasing that fee to 75.
Any discussion on that?
Go ahead.
Why that particular permit, I guess?
Cause I'm looking at the other zoning fees, we got 300, 500, 300, 100, 150. I think it just increase that by additional $25 is kind of like average it out a little bit better. I was thinking of 100, but it's for a temporary use, so I was thinking a $25 increase in that area.
It wouldn't be out of line, I don't think, to say, if you're comfortable, $100, because that would correlate more along with the other, special event permit
Do we
that
know
we
how
have for
long
free use.
we
I'm
were
sorry?
charging $50?
I'm sorry?
Do we know how long we've been charging $50?
I don't,
5 years, 10 years, 20 years?
I really don't know.
Do we know how much money we generated this past year?
None.
The $50 fee, none?
We don't get these.
Yeah, you get waived it all the time. They're
I'm
nonprofits.
sorry.
Please, there's no public comment.
So this is not the special event permit for, say, parades or things like that. This is a separate issue.
But you said there's been zero
could-
revenue,
We've never